All of us now have to make big adjustments in spending so that we can prioritize those areas that are most productive and stay the course until our economy becomes productive and profitable again. In making those painful adjustments, I myself have to lead by example. This is why, effective immediately, all of my international trips between now and the end of the fiscal year, beginning with my trip to COP28 at the end of this month, are canceled.
Yes, I know you thought that was the president of a Western world talking, but I'm sorry to burst your bubble. That was the president of Malawi talking. I'm glad to know that African leaders are beginning to understand the matrix and the right move they need to make to change the narrative of the African economy. But the unfortunate truth is that I thought that this kind of move was going to be coming from the likes of Nigerian government, which they say is the giant of Africa. Of course, we can't just be saying that Nigeria is the giant of Africa by virtue of their number, because we all know that we cannot be analyzing issues from the point of quantity rather than from the point of quality. You can't go ahead to say that the economy of Nigeria is twinkling when you can go ahead to spend the likes of 1.5 billion naira just to buy vehicles for the First Lady, 5 billion naira just to buy a yacht for the President, and 57.6 billion naira just to buy vehicles for the House of Rep members. And the sad truth of this is that these vehicles you're buying are not made in Nigerian vehicles. How unfortunate. Of course, I can make bold to say that that is like exporting our employment and importing unemployment. Because you know that these countries you're sending these monies to have people working in their car manufacturing companies, and then Nigerian car manufacturers are never patronized. No wonder the likes of Yesufu went ahead to say that Nigeria is gradually becoming a toddler of Africa rather than the giant of Africa. I like you to hear Yesufu when she said these strong words about the current happenings in the African political space. But don't go anywhere, because I like you to also sit back and hear from a former Malawian president. When she came to Nigeria, she went ahead to express so much displeasure at the Supreme Court judgment, and also went ahead to express the displeasure of African leaders. Do want to hit the comment section. Let's get to know what your thinking is, as we shall be continually here to serve you. Also give us a like as a means of courtesy. My name is Moses, and this is Think Tank TV.
We constantly fool ourselves by calling ourselves the giant of Africa. Those who are giant of Africa, they truly know themselves and they don't make noise. Ford Motor Company is investing 5.2 billion rand into its South African Silverton production plant. They're going to start production. They are going to start producing the first ever Ranger plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, targeting energy self-sufficiency by 2025. There is a bigger plan for Ford to bring 9 new car models to market in South Africa. They will also be exporting these car models to Europe, and for the first time in 20 years, also to New Zealand and Australia. The Silverton plant has been operational since 1967. The plant is 156,942 square meter in size, and the company has 5,200 employees in South Africa. In 1923, the company produced 10 vehicles per day. Today, the Silverton production plant produces 720 vehicles per day, the highest when compared to any original equipment manufacturer in South Africa. BMW made a substantial investment of 4.2 billion rand into their Roslyn, Pretoria manufacturing plant a few months back to make electric cars. BMW has been in South Africa for 50 years. Their investment will be made over 5 years, and they produce the BMW X3 that is exclusively manufactured in South Africa and shipped to the rest of the world. South Africans don't have two heads. They are our mates. We're even supposed to be bigger and better than them. But yet, we have crippled ourselves. It is crawling that we now crawl. Our own governments, all they are doing is that they are carrying money to go and buy cars for themselves and their wives. Yeah, that's what they are doing. To buy cars for themselves and their wives. Luxury, what they will just eat. They don't know how to produce. They don't know how to give back. See this one. So by carrying that money, now what you effectively do is that you will now carry that money, you will now go and it's as if you are exporting jobs and then importing unemployment, because the people you are carrying going to buy those things for, it's an opportunity for their people to be employed. And yet all the time we are crying of unemployment, we are crying of poverty, we are crying of bankruptcy and all of that, yet we do not make the right choices.
You've seen for yourself how South Africa is quietly and gradually becoming the giant of Africa without much noise. I'd like you to sit back and let's hear the former president of Malawi when she came to Nigeria, the words she said about Anambra Azikiwe. I'll be coming back to wrap up the video. My name is Moses and this is Think Tank TV.
Your Excellency Peter Obi, former executive governor of Anambra State. I don't even need to say, I've just gotten information that just my photo with him is trending in Malawi like crazy. All distinguished ladies and gentlemen, students, and my favorite group of young people. Today, I'm here to deliver this lecture, but I have a confession to make. I say things as they are. So if anybody gets offended, I am sorry, but that's how I'm born. People have articulated the great Azikiwe's story, where he was born and so on, his story. I will skip that and talk about this great man as Africa knows him and what I think he stands for. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the habit of getting to a place for the first time and finding what I can learn from that country. During the elections of this country, I was privileged to be requested by America to lead the observer team of NDI and IRI. I don't know why, but they just felt this African woman will lead this observer team. While I was here, Arise Broadcasting Channel asked to interview me. And one thing I learned for the first time in Nigeria, the question that came from the anchor was, what about vote buying in Malawi? And I said, what is that? Because, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I had never heard about vote buying in my life. Where I come from, the last elections of 2020, the sitting president used the TPEX to change figures. Our award-winning judiciary nullified the elections. Distinguished ladies, so when I went home, being interviewed how Nigeria was, I told them about this question, and Malawians were amused. We learn every day. Vote by. Today, now to my speech. I have decided that I will broaden my theme. We will touch a lot of issues, at the end of which I will ask questions that you will take home, because Africa needs answers to the issues that are affecting us. Nobody is going to come into Africa to do this for us. We must do it ourselves. And the Zik of Africa, the great Zik of Africa, led the way. Today, 16th of November, is not an ordinary day. Nandi Azikiwe would have been 119, as you've heard already. He died at the age of 91 in May 1996. We are here to honor the life of a gallant fighter for human rights and justice, a man that embodied humanity and servant leadership, a man who we are and have continued to celebrate, the great Azikiwe of Africa. We are also a few weeks away from October 1, the day that he became first president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1963. A formidable journalist turned political activist and president, whose leadership acumen made the colonial powers try in vain to block his ascendancy to the presidency. I have therefore always wondered why, when we talk about our revolutionary leaders, our founding fathers, we will mention Nyerere, Kaunda, and we mention Mandela, and often leave out Azikiwe. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is your duty as Nigerians to amplify this name. This is no small name. Azikiwe was a great man, just as great as Nyerere, as Kaunda, as everybody else. Nobody is going to do it for you but yourselves. I'll give you an example of what I did myself. Kamuzu Banda attended the first founding meeting of the Organization of African Unity. And in 2013, we were celebrating 50 years. And I got to the African Union headquarters, and they had put all the names on the wall of people they honor and recognize as our founding fathers. And Kamuzu Banda's name was not there. His picture was not up. And I told the organizers, I told the African Union, I'll go back to my hotel until that picture is up. We must do the same for Azikiwe. We must never allow his name to be omitted because he's a great son of this continent. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these lecture series are a befitting celebration of an African giant who, through the power of his pen and paper here in Nigeria, Ghana, and across Africa before independence, gave us a platform to identify ourselves as proud Africans and consciously ignited the flames of colonial liberation across the many colonized countries of the African continent. And please follow me. I'm going to talk about women of Nigeria. And I want us to keep in mind that women of Nigeria, of Malawi, of South Africa stood up with their brothers to fight for self-rule. We're not just sitting home. I'm therefore honored to be here as we celebrate Nanda Azikiwe legacy. I'm also humbled that it pleased the convening committee to consider me to be the first woman leader on this lecture series. I hope many more women leaders in various sectors of our African societies will have this honor and privilege to share their thoughts and join the rest of the continent in celebrating the great Zik of Africa. I am grateful to Senator Ben Ndiobi for traveling all the way to Malawi to come and request me to come here as guest speaker.
Wow, remarkable indeed. Now, for those of you who have not heard of the word, the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization in Africa, you need to go check it out. It's going to actually blow your mind so that you can understand the damage that France has done to these so-called Francophone countries. I just pray that illumination will come to the African continent sooner than we ever thought. My name is Moses and this is Think Tank. Please do want to go to the comment section. We actually take pleasure in getting to know what your thoughts are about the videos we put out. Also hit the like button as a means of courtesy to the producers of this content, and we shall continually be here to serve you. Thank you so much to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We do not take it lightly. My name again is Moses and this is Think Tank TV. See you on our next video. Bye for now.